This is part 4 of a seminar I gave at the 2015 Sportsman Show in Puyallup, Washington. And we're talking about drift fishing and float fishing beads, and it's an introduction to those who are new to fishing beads. Bead fishing has grown in popularity and is very effective for both steelhead and salmon. Here in part 4, we'll talk about stoppers for floats, split shot selection, and float fishing techniques while using beads for steelhead and salmon.
So if you throw your float system out there and it lays over immediately, burn it in and adjust your stopper. Take that stopper, shorten it up. Now I have a different length setup here. And I can be back in the water and I'm floating through and I'm keeping my bobber straight up and down. Okay? That's another thing you have a lot of choices on your bobber stops. I mean, guys, you can use the knots, you can use the eggs, you can use the tabs. Yes? So the answer is maybe. And here's why. Because I see a lot of guys that are fishing heavy beads and they'll use the split shot as well. Because that bead in and of itself isn't enough weight to stay oriented and stay down below the float. Okay? You'll see if you search fishing heavy beads, you'll see guys setting them up and they're setting them up just like this. Okay? Now let me touch on this, and this is really important. Is this the one? That's not the one, it's this one. Split shot. I put this on here intentionally so that you could see something. What kind of split shot is that right there? Is that removable? Yes. Don't use removable split shot. Why? What's it doing? Yes, it's getting tangled up. You've got those wedges so that you can remove it, right? Hydraulics of the river will get that thing hung up. I actually had a guy come up to me yesterday and he goes, I've been trying to figure out why my leaders have been just a mess. I reel it back in and he goes, I'm setting it up just like you are. And it wasn't until you talked about these little fins on there. The water's grabbing those fins and it's moving it around and he's coming back and his leader's all tangled up and it's a mess. What you guys want is round split shot. So I've got some here. Buy a variety. It's inexpensive. It's like $1.19 a bag. Okay? This is the round stuff. So the question is, can I save it? No, you're not going to save it. When you're done, do what I do, strip it off the line, throw it in a container, and now you've got some extra lead to melt down later for something else. Right? But you want a variety of size. Here's a number 7. All round. Here's the 3/0. Here's the BB. You need a selection. Okay? Because you want to be heavier to lighter. You want that bead to have that natural presentation in there. Okay? Scent. Make sure you use scent. Yes, sir. Yeah.
The only thing I haven't heard, and they do make the floats with the weight in them with different weight size.
Yes.
That would directly orientate it straight up and down.
Yes, they do.
Can you use one of those compared to the one like you had the 1 ounce?
You could. So the question is, they make floats similar to this that actually works similar to any one of those. And there's a ring weight on the bottom of it, so it automatically orients the weight, the float. Typically, those are used for jigs, and those have to be balanced as well. Could you use the weighted float and then throw a jig on there and it's too heavy and it rides too low in the water? Yes. You need to play with it, Am I telling you not to do it? No. I mean, it's a choice. If you've got some, go play with it and try. But what you do want to do is you want to make sure that you get this float, you get that set, and you've got to get some beads on there so that that leader, or whatever length leader that is, it might be, if you're float fishing, it could be a 2-foot leader, could be a 4-foot leader. Maybe you're on the Columbia and you're fishing 8 or 9, 10 feet of water for steelhead. Maybe it's going to be a 6-foot leader. You need to get some weight on there to get it down, even if you're going to fish the heavy beads. But again, I think that's more of I just like a little more natural buoyancy, okay? Let's talk real quick, guys, about bead color. You don't have any beads, you want to get out there, you want to start bead fishing. So, clear water. How many of you guys jig fish? Okay, what color jigs are we using in clear water? Light colors, dark colors? Dark. Dark. Go with the dark. Start with the dark first. Blacks and purples, deep dark reds. You want to do the same thing for your beads, okay? You want to do the same thing for your beads. So if you're new to bead fishing and you're like, okay, what am I going to do? Because there's 90 different color options with steelheadbeads.com. 90. And they're coming out with more. So what are you going to do? Well, here's what I would do. I'd get on the phone, give them a call, and say, I need some steelhead beads. I want a complete kit. And I want you to give me something in the dark ranges. And I want the really light, natural, bright, natural colors, almost like translucent. And then give me something in between. That's going to get you started, right? Carrying around 90 beads is a lot. I mean, this is 15 different colors right here. That's a pretty good selection of beads. This is another 15 colors. Lots of colors to choose from. Here's the deal. If it's not working, change it. Change the color. I had 4 guys out. We were doing a little steelhead fishing. We're floating eggs. And I'll be honest, I start with eggs. I get out there, I throw eggs, right? Because if I can get steelhead on eggs, I'm going to get fish them. Well, it wasn't going so well. So I took 2 of the guys and put beads on. I threw a bead on mine, so I had one to switch out with them. Man, same water we'd been fishing. As soon as I got those beads on, fish on. Okay? Come down, net it, go back up, let's do it again. Fish on. Now I got the guys fishing eggs going, I want a bead, right? They work. What did I do? All I did was I changed it up because it wasn't working. So if you really want to focus on bead fishing, and it does work, and one color's not working, switch it up. Fish another color. Go a little lighter. Maybe go with a different style bead. Because some of the beads have edges, right? All the Steelhead beads at steelheadbeads.com, they're made here in the USA. They've got all sorts of beads. Different finishes, glossy, more matte finishes, all sorts of things, okay? Again, I can't reiterate enough on drift fishing or float fishing. Work your seams and edges. Don't walk right into the water when you get down there. Fish that water first, okay? Now the cool thing about float fishing is, remember when I said don't cast here? Well, now you can, because you're float fishing. So you can cast high in the drift, reel your line in as you're coming across, and once you get out in front of you, start letting the line out, and you can really cover a lot of water. A lot of water. But don't do that when you're drift fishing. You're going to lose gear. Okay? Yes, sir.
So when you fish high up river and you get to the middle, you got to be reeling up. And when you get to that point, you want to open the
I open my bell and I start letting line out. So it looks like this. So as I'm fishing, I get to about in the middle here. Now I'm opening my bell and I'm keeping my hand right here. Right here. Yeah, exactly. So that line's going out. right here. And all it takes is a push, and I can set the hook, okay? You're talking about focus. This isn't that, okay, I'm 2 hours into it, my hand's down here, I'm on my cell phone. No, no, no. We're talking focus, okay? So as you get to the middle, reach down, bail comes open. I literally, the line is coming through my thumb and my index finger, and I feel the line, it's going through. Yep, I feel it going. Boom. I see it strike, close the bell, set the hook.
With braided line, can the braided line be on the water the whole time?
No. So the question is, can braided line be on the water the whole time? No, because in the width of a river, the river runs at different top speeds, right? The top water speed's different. So when you're float fishing, when I'm float fishing, I like to really keep my rod high. I'm really following it. I don't want to be too high because when it's bobber down, I don't want to be setting the hook from here to here. I want a good solid hook set. So I'm going to just simply hold it up. I'm going to be a little higher than parallel, and I'm going to watch and follow my line. Okay, that way if my line, the belly of my line, if my line starts getting caught by the river, I'll just lift and mend. Okay, gently. If you do that too hard, you're going to pull your float out of your drift. Does that make sense? If you're a free drifter, if you've got a boat, you can bobber dog with this, right? Just kind of free float down the river. Works great. Works great. Guys, beads work, and they work because of the hydraulics of the river. These neutral buoyant beads that you're fishing, you're letting the current of that river get the bead down, provide a natural presentation. It's another tool that you're putting in your toolbox, and you should try it. Because, like I said, if you're already float fishing, you're already drift fishing, all you really need are the beads, right? Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. I can tell you right now that down the Cowlitz River, the guys were just hammering them. Coho. Good coho. Okay? I'm actually excited for the beads for the humpy season. You know why? Because I can get kids casting these rods, right? Those younger kids, they're not steelhead guys, they don't have that patience, but if I can give them some success and let them cast that rod and learn how to drift fish, that's a good introduction to steelhead fishing and coho fishing. Bobber down, right? That's the information I've got for you guys. I hope it helps you. It's a good introduction to get you started. I'm going to be here as long as you guys have questions. I'll be here to answer those questions for you. I appreciate you coming down to the show. If you're coming back tomorrow, there's lots of great seminars to see. They have other fishing seminars in the Blue Theater. Check it out so you get to see what interests you. Thanks, guys.
Well, that wraps it up for this seminar for drift fishing and float fishing beads for salmon and steelhead. I hope this information helps you add another tool to your fishing arsenal. Remember, if you're fishing effectively and it's not working, change it up and keep fishing. For more information about steelhead beads or to purchase steelhead beads, visit their website at steelheadbeads.com. Thanks for watching.